A historic, absolute freak of nature from South Africa just broke the all-time athletic testing record, and he is officially coming to the Windy City. The 2026 draft is in the books, and honestly, the front office just orchestrated a masterclass in drafting speed, violence, and sheer playmaking ability. If you aren't completely fired up about the 7 new weapons we just added to this roster, you need to check your pulse right now. Before we dive deep into these final draft grades, make sure to smash that like button, share this video with every fan you know, and hit subscribe so you never miss an update. Are we finally looking at the draft class that transforms this team into an unstoppable, dominant powerhouse for the next decade? Let's get right into the trenches and break down exactly what happened over this absolutely chaotic weekend. We entered this draft with 7 picks, did the usual nerve-wracking dance of trading up and down the board, and ultimately walked away with 7 completely different, highly targeted players. We acquired a mix of absolute steals, a few initial head-scratchers that turned into brilliantly calculated risks upon closer review, and some raw, terrifying athletes who are going to rip this league apart. It is finally time to throw all the individual evaluations together, and hand out the definitive grades for every single pick. We have to start at the top of the board in round 1. Picking Dillon Thieneman at 25th overall is a slam dunk, incredibly easy A grade. I am not exaggerating even a little bit when I say this guy was a fringe top 15 talent in the entire class. Honestly, my heart was racing as the board fell, and I would have fully supported trading up a few spots to grab him if things got desperate. But the football gods smiled upon us, the board fell perfectly, and the front office was perfectly positioned to let a premium player fall right into their laps. This kid is a phenomenal, highly versatile athlete who can seamlessly interchange with Kobe Bryant on the back end, giving this defense the ultimate flexibility. And listen, you are going to hear this a lot today. This is the overarching theme of our entire draft: elite athleticism. The coaching staff screamed it from the rooftops all off-season long. They desperately wanted guys who can fly. They wanted dynamic speed. They demanded versatility. They found the perfect marriage of the best player available and a massive positional need. That is the absolute holy grail of drafting in the first round. You want to stick to your big board, and when the top available talent aligns flawlessly with a glaring roster hole, it is a beautiful thing to witness. If Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon can just stay healthy this season, this secondary is going to be an absolute nightmare for opposing quarterbacks in 2026. Yes, we all still have some burning questions about the defensive line, but as far as the defensive backfield goes, I am absolutely thrilled with where we sit. Moving into day 2, things started getting a little wild, a little unpredictable, and honestly, a bit wonky. But after diving into the tape, I have genuinely warmed up to these picks, and I am actually elevating my initial grades. I originally slapped a B- on the Logan Jones selection, but I am officially bumping that up to a solid B. Why? Because this guy might actually start this very year. He brings 51 career starts of pure, battle-tested grit to the table. Even if he doesn't start week 1, you are looking at the long-term anchor of this offensive line at the center position. Yes, he is slightly undersized, as most centers naturally are, but he fits our outside zone blocking scheme absolutely perfectly. It is like he was built in a lab for this offense. He is lightning fast getting out into space in the run game, a surprisingly stout pass protector for his frame, and incredibly cerebral. He is a genius on the field, and he publicly stated that he soaked up so much knowledge playing behind Tyler Linderbaum at Iowa. Now, he gets to learn and develop behind Garrett Bradbury. The frustrating reality is that we have not had a true, long-term answer at the center position since the legendary Olin Kreutz. We prayed Drew Dalman was the guy, but he walked away and retired. Bradbury is the current Band-Aid, and he will probably take the first snap this season, but Logan Jones is the future. He will push for playing time immediately, and will almost certainly take the permanent reins by 2027. Dane Brugler might have seen him as a third-round talent, but in a draft with zero universal consensus, getting a flawless scheme fit in the late second round is a massive organizational win. Next up is Sam Roush, and I am elevating this grade as well, moving it from a C+ to a confident B-. Part of this jump comes from recognizing the massive shift across the entire league regarding the immense value of big, athletic, versatile tight ends. Roush gives you a little bit of absolutely everything. He is a 6'6", 260-pound monster who brings sheer physical violence to the run game and incredible pass-protecting skills. But he is not just a blocker. He is a highly capable pass catcher who can tear apart defenses in the underneath and intermediate areas. We actually executed a brilliant trade back from 60 to 69 to get him, picking up pick 144 in the process, which became crucial later on. We know our offensive mastermind Ben Johnson absolutely adores 12 and 13 personnel packages. We are going to see a heavy uptick in multi-tight end sets this season. After letting Durham Smythe walk, a guy who graded out as the literal lowest-ranked tight end in the entire NFL last year according to Pro Football Focus, the front office clearly demanded an immediate upgrade. Roush is that upgrade. He caught 50 passes for over 500 yards in a completely broken Stanford offense last year. The raw production is undeniably there. He is going to eat up heavy snaps right out of the gate, likely pushing for well over 300 snaps as a rookie. And honestly, if he flashes enough elite potential, it gives the front office massive leverage to potentially pivot off Cole Kmet in 2027. Keep a very close eye on Roush as a long-term running mate alongside Colston Loveland. This brings us to a crucial moment in the show, and I have a specific question of the day for all of you watching. Which of these Day 2 draft picks do you truly believe will have the biggest, most undeniable impact in their rookie season? Drop your answers down in the comments below right now because I want to read and debate every single one of your predictions. Alright, let's talk about Zavion Thomas. I have settled on a C grade here, but let me be absolutely clear, I see the vision. I really, truly do. This was one of those moments where you just have to trust Ben Johnson's offensive genius. Now, purely based on traditional draft value, it feels like we reached. We probably could have grabbed him a full round later. But Dane Brugler completely nailed the scouting report when he said Thomas isn't a polished, every-down receiver yet, but he brings absolute, terrifying juice to the field to threaten opponents in a multitude of ways. If Thomas comes in, locks down the return game, acts as a reliable gadget weapon, and hits a few home runs on jet sweeps, this grade is completely justified. But if Ben Johnson unleashes him, if he turns into a guy who plays heavy snaps, lines up in the backfield, completely breaks defensive ankles in the slot, and routinely tears the top off the defense outside, then this pick becomes legendary. I know fans are traumatized and screaming that he is Velus Jones Jr. 2.0, but stop it. Stop comparing them. Velus was drafted by an archaic, defensive-minded regime. Thomas was handpicked by an innovative offensive visionary who specifically wanted this dangerous toy. Let the man cook. Moving to Day 3, we are back in the absolute elite tier of drafting. Malik Muhammad is a spectacular A- pick. Honestly, I heavily debated giving it a flawless A, but we did have to sacrifice some capital to trade back up and secure him, so I have to dock it just a hair. But I don't even care. This kid is an absolute steal. I firmly believed he was a solid Day 2 talent who inexplicably fell into the late rounds. He is a multi-year starter at Texas with incredibly long 32-inch arms and explosive athleticism. Yes, he is a bit slender at just over 6 feet tall, and he might get pushed around in the run game initially, but he is an absolute dog. He literally told the media today that to play corner in this unforgiving league, you have to have a total psycho mentality and completely dominate your opponent when the pressure is highest. That is exactly the terrifying swagger we need in a heavy pressman scheme. He tracks the ball beautifully, recording 6 breakups and multiple interceptions in the brutal SEC last year. Tariq Stevenson will probably start on the outside, but Muhammad is going to breathe fire right down his neck from day one, fighting off guys like Zay Frazier and Terrell Smith for massive playing time. Then we grabbed Keyshawn Elliott, another phenomenal value pick earning a rock-solid A-. Is he perfectly refined right now? No. But this dude is a 6'2", 230-pound heat-seeking missile who runs a blistering sub-4.6 40-yard dash. He is going to be an absolute terror on early run downs. The absolute best part about him: he is a relentless, obsessive worker. Scouts reported that he practically lived at the team facility, constantly annoying his coaches in the best way possible by demanding to watch more film and get better. He was a top 85 player on Brugler's board, and we stole him all the way down at pick 166. His coverage skills definitely need serious work, so if he is on the field on passing downs, we better be sending him on a relentless blitz. But he has fluid hips, raw explosive power, and phenomenal instincts. He will instantly boost our linebacker rotation and possesses the sheer willpower to become a full-time starter down the road. Finally, Ryan Poles and Brandon Bean did their classic, highly anticipated late-round trade dance. We sent 2 late 7th-round picks to Buffalo to jump back up and secure Jordan Van Den Berg. I am giving this an excited B+, only knocking it slightly because we had to burn 2 picks to get him. But guys, this story is unbelievable. He is the first player ever drafted out of South Africa. He was a 0-star JUCO recruit who violently grinded his way to Penn State and then absolutely exploded at Georgia Tech. He racked up 44 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, and 29 pressures as an interior rusher last year. He practically lived in the opponent's backfield. But here is the absolute craziest, most mind-blowing part. He posted a perfect 10 out of 10 relative athletic score. That is the single highest athletic testing for a defensive tackle since Kentley Platt started tracking the data way back in 1987. At 6'3" and 310 pounds, he threw up 35 reps on the bench press, flew through the agility drills, and ran a sub-5-second 40-yard dash. He is a total freak of nature who fits our defensive scheme perfectly. Behind Jervin Dexter Sr. and Grady Jarrett, we have a deep rotation with Neville Gallimore, James Lynch, and Kentavious Street, but Van Den Berg is going to make this final roster. I guarantee it. So there you have it, an incredibly exciting B+ draft overall. We found premium immediate starters, explosive rotational pieces, and unmatched athletic upside. We executed brilliant, calculated trades, strictly trusted our board, and equipped this dangerous roster for a brutal 2026 season. The foundation is set, the weapons are fully loaded, and the future of this franchise is right now.